How did colonialism shape the economy of India, one of the world's oldest civilizations? To answer this question, we must journey back to the late 17th century when the East India Company first set foot on Indian soil. The advent of British colonial rule dramatically altered the economic landscape of India, transforming it into a satellite economy primarily serving the interests of Britain. Before the arrival of the British, India was a prosperous civilization with a vibrant economy. Renowned for its textiles, metalworking and shipbuilding industries, India was a significant player in global trade. However, colonial rule brought about a rapid deindustrialization that saw these once thriving industries crumble. The British sought to use India as a source of raw materials for their burgeoning industries back home. As a result, India's economy was reoriented towards the production of raw materials such as cotton, indigo, and tea. This shift led to a drastic decline in India's artisanal and manufacturing sectors, effectively leading to the country's deindustrialization. At the same time, the British introduced new land tenure systems that prioritized cash crops over food crops, pushing India further towards becoming an agrarian economy. These changes resulted in the displacement of many small farmers, and led to widespread impoverishment and famine. Moreover, the British also used India as a captive market for their finished goods. Tariff and trade policies were manipulated to favor British industry, leading to a flood of cheap British goods into the Indian market. This influx severely undermined local industries and stifled India's economic growth. In essence, colonialism transformed India from a prosperous economy into a resource extraction colony. The economic policies enforced by the British were designed to drain wealth from India and transfer it to Britain, leading to a severe economic decline that lasted for more than a century. Colonialism, while leaving an indelible mark on India's economy, set the stage for a struggle for independence that would redefine the country's economic trajectory. This struggle, which we'll delve into in the next scene, was instrumental in shaping the modern Indian economy. What were the economic challenges that India faced post-independence? A question that leads us into a complex web of trials and tribulations, but also resilience and innovation. In the immediate post-independence period, India was a new nation, grappling with the aftermath of colonial rule. The economy was primarily agrarian, with a minuscule industrial sector. The country was plagued by poverty, illiteracy, and a stark lack of infrastructure. These were the initial hurdles that India had to overcome to set the stage for economic development. One of the first steps taken by the government was the adoption of a policy of import substitution. This policy aimed to replace foreign imports with domestic production, thereby fostering self-reliance. The idea was to protect the fledgling Indian industries from foreign competition and to reduce dependence on foreign countries for crucial goods and services. While this strategy did help to some extent in building the industrial base, it also led to inefficiencies and a lack of competitiveness in the global market. But perhaps the most significant aspect of India's economic strategy post-independence were the 5-year plans. Inspired by the Soviet model, these plans were a series of nationwide economic projects aimed at boosting the country's economic growth. The first 5-year plan focused on agriculture, while the second shifted attention to industry. Over time, these plans played a crucial role in shaping the country's economic landscape, promoting sectors such as steel, power, and chemicals. Yet, the journey was not smooth. The country faced several economic setbacks, including food crises, foreign exchange shortages, and slow industrial growth. These challenges were further exacerbated by global economic fluctuations and geopolitical tensions. Despite these hurdles, India demonstrated remarkable resilience. The government took steps to diversify the economy, promote education, and build infrastructure. Slowly but surely, the country began to see improvements. The post-independence period was a time of significant economic challenges, but also a time of great resilience and innovation. It was a period that saw India laying the groundwork for its future economic growth, a testament to the nation's tenacity and spirit of self-reliance. How did the Green Revolution transform India's agrarian economy? This pivotal question takes us to the heart of the 1960s, a defining decade for India's economic landscape. The Green Revolution was a strategic move to make India self-sufficient in food grain production. It was a period of intense agricultural transformation, where traditional farming methods were replaced with technologically advanced ones. High-yielding varieties of wheat and rice, chemical fertilizers, and irrigation facilities were introduced, leading to a significant increase in crop yield. This agricultural renaissance wasn't just about growing more food, it was about shifting the economic dynamics of the country. Prior to the Green Revolution, India's economy was heavily reliant on imports to meet its food grain demands. Post the revolution, the country not only achieved self-sufficiency, but also became a net exporter of food grains. The Green Revolution also had profound implications for India's rural economy. It created a demand for farm labor, leading to employment opportunities. It also led to the development of ancillary industries like the manufacturing of agricultural equipment and fertilizers, thus stimulating the rural economy. However, the Green Revolution wasn't all green. It had its share of critiques. The increased use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides led to environmental degradation. There was also a widening economic disparity between the rich farmers who could afford the new technologies and the poor farmers who couldn't. Despite these challenges, the Green Revolution was a milestone in India's economic history. It transformed the agrarian economy, paving the way for a more diversified economy. It also demonstrated the power of technology and innovation in driving economic growth. The Green Revolution marked a turning point in India's economic history, setting the stage for the economic liberalization that was to come. The Green Revolution was not just about green fields and abundant harvests. It was about a nation's journey towards economic resilience and self-sufficiency. It was about transforming an economy one seed at a time. What led to India's economic liberalization in 1991? And what were its effects? Let's dive right into it. The late 80s were a tough time for India. The country was grappling with a severe balance of payments crisis, a significant economic downturn that threatened to plunge the nation into bankruptcy. With dwindling foreign exchange reserves, India was on the brink of defaulting on its international debt. In a move that would forever change the face of the Indian economy, the government of India, under the leadership of then Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao and Finance Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh, decided to open up the economy in 1991. This marked the beginning of the era of economic liberalization in India. The economic liberalization was characterized by a series of reforms. These included the reduction of import tariffs, deregulation of markets, reduction of taxes, and greater foreign investment. The government aimed to move away from a centrally planned economy to a more market-oriented economy. These reforms had a profound impact on the Indian economy. They led to an increase in foreign investment, which was a much-needed boost for the struggling economy. Foreign companies began to set up shop in India, bringing with them capital, technology, and new business practices. One of the most notable effects of economic liberalization was the growth of the services sector. Before 1991, the Indian economy was predominantly agrarian. However, post-liberalization, the services sector began to thrive. Today it contributes more than half of India's gross domestic product, with sectors like IT and software services, telecommunications and banking leading the way. However, it wasn't all rosy. Economic liberalization also brought with it challenges, such as increased income inequality and environmental degradation. But on balance, the benefits have far outweighed the drawbacks. The economic liberalization of 1991 marked a new chapter in India's economic history, transforming the nation into one of the world's fastest-growing economies. And that, my friends, is the story of how India transformed itself from a struggling economy to a global powerhouse. So, how has India's economy evolved from the colonial period to the era of economic liberalization? Let's take a quick journey back. During the colonial period, India's economy was essentially a captive market, controlled and exploited by the British Empire. It was a time of economic stagnation and exploitation, with the country's wealth drained away, leaving a legacy of poverty and underdevelopment. Following independence, India faced a multitude of economic challenges. The country had to deal with the remnants of colonial exploitation, partition-induced disruptions, and the need for nation-building. It adopted a socialist-inspired economic model, focusing on state-directed planning and public ownership. However, this approach led to a period of slow economic growth, often referred to as the Hindu rate of growth. Enter the Green Revolution in the 1960s and 70s. This revolution brought about a significant increase in agricultural productivity, transforming India from a food deficit nation to a food surplus one. It played a crucial role in mitigating the impact of famines and boosting rural economies. However, it also had its share of drawbacks, such as environmental degradation and increased economic disparity. Fast forward to 1991, the year of economic liberalization. Faced with a severe balance of payments crisis, India embarked on a path of systemic economic reforms. These reforms reduced state control, opened up markets, and promoted competition. The result was a period of accelerated economic growth, increased foreign investment, and rapid urbanization. However, it also led to issues like income inequality and regional disparities. In essence, India's economic evolution is a story of triumphs and challenges. It's a story of a nation rising from the ashes of colonial exploitation, navigating through the trials of nation-building, harnessing the power of the Green Revolution, and embracing the opportunities and challenges of economic liberalization. India's economic evolution is a testament to its resilience and adaptability. From the ashes of colonialism, through the trials of independence and the transformation of the Green Revolution, to the rapid growth of the liberalization era, India's economy continues to evolve and adapt in the face of challenges and opportunities.